moving into our 11th week of theater school now, and yeah, we don't have that much time left. So, normal semesters where I'm from are broken out into about 13 ish weeks, which means that A, I'm not going to be making these videos for a couple months because it's summer break after I finish with all of that. But more importantly, it means that we're approaching final season, and that is terrifying. So going over what we actually did for the whole week, we actually had Monday off, or mostly off, because it's Tech Day. I've mentioned before that the way the school works is basically for the first few semesters, you're working on crews instead of working as a person who is on stage, which has its ups and downs. I think it's important to do crew work, but I also I want to perform. So I did get an opportunity to do that this week, though. So a little bit of a minor complaint, but anyway, I'll get into that in a bit. Yeah, but I still had to go in on Monday for a couple hours from, I think it was 5 to 10, roughly, because we still had to do some stuff on crew. I've actually had crew every single night this week, and the weekend has been my only reprieve from that, which has been nice, but I've also been very bored all day, so that's more than a little concerning, to be honest. Making videos is a very great way to help myself with that, but also it's finding the motivation to make stuff consistently, especially when you don't know what people are actually watching or enjoying. So, if you could tell me of what of my stuff you're enjoying, I'd appreciate it. But anyway, I'm getting very off topic on what is supposed to be a video diary. So, where was I? Right. Moving into the rest of the week, we didn't really get a lot of opportunities to work with our opposite characters. We had something on Tuesday and Wednesday where we played Mafia and then did the final scene presentation, which was a lot of fun. Um, and then we just transitioned into doing our finals right away. And it's kind of sad right now for me, to be honest. I mean, I'm super stoked to be getting into finals because I did really want to work on them, and I've got a great partner, and I'm super looking forward to getting to work on this because it's from a really great play and really fun dialogue with people. Like, there's so much we can do with it, and I'm really genuinely excited and looking forward to it. But it's also crazy to me to think how far we've come. It's only been roughly 3 months, probably even less than that, since I even got to here, and already we're getting into the finals. It's super crazy to think about. Finals in and of itself is also a really big ordeal where we're doing like multiple scene presentations and having to work with multiple partners. And it's like a whole 4 hour block that we're booked for the day of finals, which is a lot of work to do. And I, it's nerve wracking. But I'm still really looking forward to it. It also shows a lot though in terms of what we're doing for our other classes because even in those we're starting to move more into our finals. For our jazz performance, for instance, we finalized our first big piece and potentially might be doing something else. That remains to be seen, but we might we might be doing something else because at the end of the year there's this big movement final that incorporates everything we've done up until now, and is meant to be a big showcase of what our skills. It's more so for the upper terms because A term really only has the one song that they do, but we might be getting more. Um, and on top of that, we also had our choir performance this Friday. So choir has been something we've been working on for the entirety of term now, but on Friday, we had to give a presentation of the three songs that we were working on as the big here's our finale. And going into it, I volunteered myself to actually give a little introductory piece to one of the three songs that we were doing, that being Anthem. And I was a little bit nervous to give it just because as much as I am a performer, I still do struggle getting up in front of people. Not that you know it super obviously by looking at me when I'm actually giving speeches, but the moment before I start saying anything, I am a ball of nerves. Like, it's insane how much nervous energy I have before going onto a stage. I do normally end up mellowing as time goes on, and it really. I always forget to put my hand out from under my microphone. Anyway, I'm really I get in my own head with a lot of stuff, but it's especially nerve wracking before you get onto a stage to deliver something. Um, but It wasn't too bad. I mean, I got up there, I did my piece, people said I did a good job with it. Something really cool, though, was that before we got well and truly started, we had 30 minutes to warm up, and one of the teachers who is mainly responsible for all of the scheduling and making sure people are in the right places at the right times came in and told us, hey, so just so you know, a lot of upper term students are currently booked for rehearsals, so you're probably not going to have a huge audience. And we'd put out, I don't know, maybe 20-ish chairs. So uh, hard to say whether that was like relieving or upsetting. Maybe a mixture of both, just because I didn't think it was going to be, oh, okay, well, if I mess up, then whatever. It's just a small group of people who see it. Um, so that was a lie. I don't think everybody from Upper Term came in to see the show, but a lot of people did, and it was really cool seeing them all come out because they got so excited seeing us, and they really had a fun time, and I'm so glad that they actually came because it was a really nice show of community and support, and especially for me who was more than a little nervous before having to go up. It was pretty great. I also have a buddy from Upper Terms, so I explain this depending on when you're watching this, whether it's the full hour-long video or several hours long video that I'm going to post compiling all of the stuff I've made in a couple weeks now, or you're watching this when it came out. I might have mentioned that there's a buddy system at the school where you work with people from Upper Terms, and they give you advice and guidance whenever you need it. And they were quite literally front and center. So when I went up to go give my speech, they started cheering, and it was really sweet of her to do. And I'm so it helped calm me down a fair bit, as much as it also helped me get a little bit freaked out. Yeah, I don't know. There wasn't really any big lessons I would take away from this week as far as a whole, oh, here's the big thing. But one common thing that I did find with the week was that this one in particular, I really started to notice myself feeling a lot more burnt out from the whole experience. This school is tough. Like, you go through every single day, and you might be here from, for a lot of people, like 8:30 to potentially 11:30, and that's not a rare thing. Like, this entire week I have had crew calls that have kept me at school until anywhere from 7 to 10 p.m. and I get there at like 9 in the morning. So that's like a full 10 to 13 hour day every single day for an entire week. That's hard to maintain, and it really started to wear on me as time went on. The good thing about that is the teachers are aware of what this can do, and they're usually pretty accommodating. Like, you see a lot of the time too, when people are sick, they're advised, look, you don't have to participate in class, but still come in. We'll understand it if you're sick and if you just want to sit on the side, but we would like you to come in at least, because if you don't go, you miss a lot of stuff. Like, on Wednesday, we did our final presentations for our opposite characters, and some people weren't there that day. They didn't get to see it. They didn't get to see how much fun that people like me had with it, or all the work that other people had put into theirs, and how much they had grown. And that's a genuine shame, because so much had been done with those characters, even in the span of a few days, that it was absolutely insane. And I feel bad for the people who missed it, I guess. So I guess if there is a big capstone to the week, because like, I've been feeling it too. I've been feeling the drain. I've been feeling how tired I'm getting. The biggest lesson here is really that you need to be willing to acknowledge when you have hit a wall and when you're hitting your limits, because it is advisable to try and push past them, yes, but at the same time, if you're doing yourself more harm than good by trying to surpass those limits, then you might need to evaluate if it's what you really should be doing. Now, I'll admit, I admire people who have the sort of perseverance to push past any roadblocks they have and to keep chasing past their limits, because that's a hard thing to do, especially consistently. Like, that's really a genuinely underrated skill, to keep persevering in the face of difficulty and adversity. But also, please make sure to take care of yourselves. Like, if if not for yourself, although yes, for yourself, the people who care about you too want to make sure that you're living your best possible life. And yeah, I think that's really the biggest thing is acknowledge when you've hit a wall and don't be afraid to take some time for yourself to relax and rest if you need it.